The African continent has always fascinated explorers, treasure hunters, educational TV show producers, and other like-minded individuals, but some discoveries made by scientists throughout the years really leave us thinking if we really know anything about this continent. Hello viewers, today we will share with you what scientists discovered in Africa that scares the entire world, so stay tuned and let's get right into it. Gidi Ruins in Kenya. The ruins in Gidi are a historical and archaeological site near the Indian Ocean coast of eastern Kenya. The site is adjacent to the town of Gidi, also known as Gide, in the Kilifi district and within the Arabuko-Sokoke forest. The site of Gidi includes a walled town in its outlying area. All of the standing buildings at Gidi, which include mosques, a palace, and numerous houses, are made from stone, are one story, and are distributed unevenly in the town. There are also large open areas in the settlement which contain earth and thatch houses. Stone pillar tombs are a distinctive type of Swahili coast architecture found in Gidi as well. Although Gidi remained unknown to most of British East Africa's colonists until the 1920s, the site was known by the local Mijikenda peoples. Currently, the Giriyama, one of the Mijikenda tribes, maintain a large community around the Gidi ruins, who view the site as a sacred and spiritual place. Despite changes in their belief system and the prominence of Islam in the region, evil and ancestral spirits are thought by many to reside at Gidi. According to local tradition, the ruins are protected by the spirits of its priests. These old ones are said to curse anyone who harms the site. Leidenberg Heads. The Leidenberg Heads are a set of 7 terracotta heads accidentally discovered by a 10-year-old boy, Ludwig von Besing, in the South African town of Leidenberg. Beginning in 1957, he found remnants of the sculptures and other artifacts like iron and copper beads, pottery, and even pieces of bones at the same site. The discovery would have gone entirely unnoticed if he didn't bring it to the archaeology department of the University of Cape Town, resulting in an even bigger excavation effort by local archaeologists. While the structures are intricate and full of archaeological detail, we still don't know exactly who made them. Some believe that they were originally used as religious objects by the Iron Age Bantu-speaking people, a broad group of pastoral tribes spread across Africa. That could be true, though we know surprisingly little about them too. Even today, the Bantu are made up of multiple different groups and tribes with distinct cultural characteristics. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated. Great Ruins of Zimbabwe. Spread across more than 1,800 acres in modern-day Zimbabwe, the Great Zimbabwe Ruins are the remains of an ancient city that existed between the 11th and 15th centuries. The ruins include a complex of stone walls, towers, and enclosures that could have been parts of a palace, along with a number of other buildings. Over the years, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of an advanced and sophisticated civilization that traded with faraway lands, including the Arab world and China. Beyond that, though, we know little about these remains. They were first described by European travelers in the late 19th century, and some even claim that they were the work of an ancient lost white civilization. The idea has since been debunked, and the question of who built Great Zimbabwe and where they came from remains a subject of debate. Some scholars argue that the builders were indigenous, like the Bantu-speaking Shona tribe, while others propose they were migrants from the coast or North Africa. Osun Osogbo Sacred Grove in Nigeria. The Osun Osogbo Grove is several centuries old and is among the last of the sacred forests that once adjoined the edges of most Yoruba cities before extensive urbanization. In recognition of its global significance and its cultural value, the sacred grove was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2005. The dense forest of the Osun Sacred Grove, on the outskirts of the city Osogbo, is one of the last remnants of primary high forest in southern Nigeria. Regarded as the abode of the goddess of fertility, Osun, one of the pantheons of Yoruba gods, the landscape of the grove and its meandering river is dotted with sanctuaries and shrines, sculptures and artworks in honor of Osun and other deities. The sacred grove, which is now seen as a symbol of identity for all Yoruba people, is probably the last in Yoruba culture. It testifies to the once widespread practice of establishing sacred groves outside settlements. Lake Natron in Tanzania. Lake Natron in Tanzania is one of the most serene lakes in Africa, but it's also the source of some of the most phantasmagorical photographs ever captured. Images that look as though living animals had instantly turned to stone. The alkaline water in Lake Natron has a pH as high as 10.5 and is so caustic it can burn the skin and eyes of animals that aren't adapted to it. The water's alkalinity comes from the sodium carbonate and other minerals that flow into the lake from the surrounding hills, and these deposits of sodium carbonate, which was once used in Egyptian mummification, also acts as a fantastic type of preservative for those animals unlucky enough to die in the waters of Lake Natron. Despite some media reports, the animals didn't simply turn to stone and die after coming into contact with the lake's water. In fact, Lake Natron's alkaline waters support a thriving ecosystem of salt marshes, freshwater wetlands, flamingos and other wetland birds, tilapia, and the algae on which large flocks of flamingos feed. Eye of the Sahara. The Eye of the Sahara, also known as the Richat structure, is a massive circular geological feature located in the desert of Mauritania, West Africa. It measures around 30 miles in diameter, making it one of the few natural structures on Earth visible from space. It's made up of a concentric ring of rocky ridges and is thought to have been created by erosion over millions of years, though that's only one of the many theories regarding its origins. According to scientists, it could have been formed in a variety of other ways. We know that it's not a volcano, as previously thought, or related to any known tectonic activity. Some believe that it's a meteorological impact site, though the structure lacks the characteristic central peak and raised rim of meteor craters. Currently, the most widely accepted theory is that it's a geological dome, formed by complex erosion patterns over millions of years, even if that doesn't explain its unique, almost perfect circular shape. KV-55. The story of the KV-55 tomb began in 1907, when it was first discovered during an archaeological expedition in the Egyptian Valley of Kings. On first look, it was a wholly unremarkable tomb with few engravings or other decorations separating it from other tombs nearby. It contained a single mummified body along with a few artifacts belonging to multiple people. It's been more than a century since KV-55 was first discovered, though we still have no idea regarding the circumstances of the burial, or even who the tomb belongs to. The most widely believed theory points toward the pharaoh Akhenaten, as carbon dating shows the body found inside is closely related to his father, King Tutankhamun. Moreover, there's evidence to prove that the tomb was not made for him, and was instead intended for a woman, possibly his queen, Nefertiti, or perhaps one of his other wives, Kia. Sao Civilization. The Sao civilization was a mysterious ancient culture that flourished in Central Africa from the 6th century BC to the 15th century AD, making it perhaps one of the longest-lasting civilizations in history. We know of their existence from a wealth of archaeological evidence, including stone carvings, pottery, and metal objects, as well as oral records. There's still quite a bit of mystery surrounding the Sao, as we don't know anything about their language, origins, or culture. According to the traditions of their modern descendants, the Kotoko people, the Sao were a race of giants that lived somewhere between Nigeria and Cameroon. We do know, however, that they were an influential group and traded with other kingdoms in the region and beyond for hundreds of years. One theory says that they descended from the Hyksos people, a Palestinian dynasty that ruled over much of Egypt at one point. So that's all for today's video, and until next time, take care and goodbye.